Hello and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Cordes, joined by Superintendent Hime. And sir, we are back.
Crazy.
We are. We had a funky few weeks, right?
Yeah, just as Oklahoma goes. You know, we had some days off, which President's Day, and we in January, Martin Luther King Day. A couple of Mondays we take off, so we don't do the podcast. But man, it's beautiful outside.
It's perfect right now.
And then last week at this time, it was just, you could see it coming.
And it was on Monday, and then Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and Thursday. We gave our families the option.
Yeah, we were already off Monday, and then Tuesday, that ice came in, and you could just see it coming. And then Wednesday was like brutally cold for Oklahoma, and especially southwest Oklahoma, with the wind chills and the wind blowing. And Thursday wasn't a whole lot better, but hey, we got most of our people to school, our adults and our staff. Big shout out to them for getting here and getting it ready. And Friday we had school except for Freedom. You know, so there we go. Thursday and Friday, we had one chiller go out, so nothing as major as sometimes the ice storms do. They had it fixed and up and going. Big shout out to our maintenance crew, Jack and his team. And we're back in full go today, and beautiful weather outside. And, you know, it's Oklahoma, so.
That's right.
Next thing you know, we're going to be talking about spring weather and the issues we have with spring weather. And then you always know there's always that chance of one more cold front, although it's basically March. So here we go.
It's happened before. I remember snow in March.
Yes, we've had a snow day after spring break before, but
we don't
not
want
this
that.
year.
We're
done. No more virtual
right.
days, no more snow days. We're ready to get to the end of the year.
We've got lots of great things going on. We do have a makeup parent-teacher conference.
Yes, we've got parent-teacher conference making up.
For our middle schools, and that's tomorrow, Tuesday, but then our elementaries are this week.
Yep, and I do want to say a big shout out to our families. One, you know, we went ahead and made the call Monday for Tuesday and Wednesday, just because you could see Wednesday was going to be brutally cold, and it was a little bit warmer, a little bit less cold. I don't know if you say warmer on a Thursday morning, but we always give our families the option, and we just want to remind you that yes, we understand. If you don't feel like you want your kid standing at the bus stop or the situation you're in, you want to keep your child home. That's why we have DVAP, and it's a great thing we have right now, and hopefully we don't ever lose that and we don't abuse it. But as a parent, if you call in and then you log in and do your work or get with your teacher and do what you can, especially at the secondary level, we don't count your child absent. And so that's a very great tool for us on days like that kids that have to either walk to school or get out in the weather and have different situations. So the parents get to make the decision. And again, we believe in being partners with our parents and allowing them to make those choices. So a big shout out, because I thought we had great support in our staff getting here and going to work and getting everything ready, and then everybody. So. And
the kids were happy. They were ready. I'm sure some of our families were like, yes.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than snow days and brutal cold days.
Can't do anything.
You can't get out and no snow. You're just there.
Right.
You know, if you get 3 or 4 feet of snow, it'd be great. And you know, up in northern part of Oklahoma, they got a lot more snow and ice than what we did. But we just got the cold, and so everybody was cooped up in the house. So.
That's it.
Moving on.
Right before the break, we had our Future Chef competition. So congratulations to our elementary students who won. That was a great event. Always is.
Always great. Big shout out to our cooks, Daniel and his team, for helping put that on and all the work they do. Absolutely.
And then we have a bunch of updates for construction. It's moving fast if you go out and see the work that's happening with our multi-purpose facilities.
We got the facilities that, we call them multi-purposes, and just so people know, those buildings are designed where at some point in the future you could add an indoor workout facility in it. A large facility where you could practice any sport you wanted to. Basically, could practice in there and work out. And so it would be like turf in there where you could do baseball, softball, football. Obviously, band could march in there. I mean, just different multitudes could use it indoors, especially when the weather's bad. Storm or there's massive heat. That's there. Right now, those buildings are locker rooms primarily for our female athletes. They get first choice. And that was one of the main reasons we built them, was because our girls' sports, a lot of them struggle for their locker room space, and the space they got is not adequate and just not up to the grade we want our young ladies to dress in. So that's going to be the improvement. And then the third part of them is they're a concession. If you look at them, there's a concession and outdoor restroom. So as we continue to improve our local facilities at our sites, we can host events, host all of our junior high JV football, host all of our soccer events, and maybe even some football events varsity-wise. We know some of them will never host, and long-range plans, we may go ahead and try to expand those stadiums because as we talk about, me talking to the people who have been here forever, and you never know what the long-range plans of Cameron are, but Cameron quit playing football in the early 90s, and they really haven't done a lot to that stadium since the early 90s. Well, that's not our stadium. And our money's our money, but our money's also taxpayer money. And you can't use our money or our taxpayer money on somebody else's facility, and that's Cameron's facility. So it does create some problems. So long term, we got to have a plan. Okay, if that stadium continues to deteriorate without any upgrades the next 5 to 10 years, what are we going to do for our big sports and venues? So we're seeing that on there, but the main goal is to get it where we can host soccer, junior high football, and things like that, all done. Auditoriums. If you went by MacArthur, it was the first one on the list. I think it needed it the most, but they've taken the chairs out. They're working on that to open the bids. For what we're going to do. So obviously, when you open bids, they never come back. They're always too high and everything's too expensive. And you're like, okay, where are we going to find the rest of this money when we move on to number 2 and 3? But the goal again is to get us some state of the art auditorium so we can continue to improve some of our fine arts and our drama and speech and the people that use those so that all 3 of our high schools have auditoriums that they can be proud of. So that is rolling too. And those are the things. And then we've talked about this a little bit. Next on our list is you talked about it in 2017. You were a part of that group, a wonderful group. You guys worked hard, a lot of our community members, and passed a huge, massive bond issue. It's what got us Eisenhower Middle School, some safe rooms. We still got safe rooms to build. But we are out gathering information right now from staff and even some students are on the committees to start looking at, okay, so that was 17. It was a 10-year, 2027. Well, this is 25. So we got to have that conversation. So you'll hear us start talking about, we don't want to raise taxes, but we do want to pass a bond so we can keep the tax rate what it is and continue to improve our facilities and make major improvements in our facilities. So our staff and make sure you're on those committees. And if you have some things are great needs, let us know.
Absolutely, because it will be here before you know it. I can't believe how far we've come.
It's spring break. It's goofy. When we're talking, it'll be March next time.
3 weeks.
It'll be March and it's spring break, and then you're spring sports and baseball and softball started. And last week you thought it's not baseball and softball. Heck, this week they're all wanting to go out and scrimmage and play because it's so beautiful outside.
I think we have some of our first soccer games happening this week.
There you go. Yeah.
And then we have swim state is happening. Basketball regionals are finishing up.
Great in wrestling. I heard that we had a regional champion, and not that we didn't have others we have in the past, but I think we had a young lady win regionals, and so that's wrestlers. Lady wrestlers. That's becoming a quickly growing sport and exciting because again, what we believe is creating opportunities and destroying roadblocks, and that's one. And how do we get more of our young people involved in extracurricular? All research, never seen anything against it, shows those involved in extracurricular perform better than those that are not later in life through college, through jobs, through just career tech or wherever they go. Not that you got to be involved to be successful. It's just the odds show those involved in extracurricular are more successful than those not. So we try to find ways to get everyone involved.
Right, and it's not always athletics. It could be something else, academic or
academics,
right.
ROTC.
Yes.
We just want to build all programs and, again, create all the opportunities we can. Greece.
It's
look at that opportunity. It's happening, so
Yes.
you see that out there on our signs. I drove by elementary earlier, and there it was, Greece. So get your tickets.
And we will have Miss Oates and some of the actors coming and speaking with us on the podcast.
We do, yes.
So that's all coming up. We have lots of great things. We've missed you guys. We're back. We had a full update from Mr. Hime. Is there anything else you want to share?
Did we talk about parent-teacher conferences?
Oh, yes, that we have makeup. We did.
Okay.
And then the makeup coming up.
All right.
Other than that, lots of great things. Tell them where they can go if they have questions for us.
Go to our website, lawtonps.org. You need to get on there and look, or you can email us at info at lawtonps.org. And we're always looking for questions, anybody you want on the podcast and different people.
And we have a big shout out to Christina. We know you're watching, so thank you, Christina. We'll be there to see you later. And then, as always, follow us and like our social media pages because we have lots of great celebrations and information.
All over the district.
That's it.
A lot of buildings doing great things and so forth. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Hime, and thank you guys for joining us. Until next week, we will be back. Be well, stay safe, make positive impacts, and go out and enjoy this weather.